Hi, Stephanie here with Mahalo.com. Okay, so you want to have a baby. Do you want a boy or a girl? Well, nowadays with technology, you can pretty much choose. Joining us now is Dr. Jain to talk a little bit more about gender selection.
Well, it's the sperm that determines whether it's a boy or girl. Unfortunately, we can't separate boy sperm from girl sperm. So we have to use a technology called pre-implantation genetic diagnosis, where we test the embryo before we transfer it to the uterus. The way this is done is through the process of in vitro fertilization. We create embryos, and on the third day of development, we make a hole in the embryo shell and take one of the cells out. We test that cell for the Y chromosome, which is the male chromosome. If the cell has a Y chromosome, that's a boy embryo. If it doesn't, it's a girl embryo. And we only transfer the embryos that the patients desire.
Now, you guys have a pretty high success rate with this.
Well, the ability to determine the sex or gender of the embryo is almost 100%. And in young women, for example, those under 35, their embryos are also very good. So we do have a high success rate with that.
Give us a scenario in which someone would want to choose the sex.
Most commonly, it's for family balancing. They have 3 boys at home, and it's a mother coming and saying, I just need a little girl. But for the most part, it's couples who want to experience the joys of having a different gender of their child, to have that in life.
What happens to the embryos, let's say, that are not the desired sex?
Yeah, that's always an important question. Some view sex selection, basically a non-critical or essential characteristic, as being a form of designing your baby. I will point out that we've been designing babies for 30 years. Ever since egg donation and sperm donation, people have gone into these banks and said, I like that guy or I like that girl. Having said that, it is still worthy of debate. What usually happens with the embryos of the gender that's not desired is that they're frozen and kept frozen until a decision is made.
Does insurance cover this procedure?
Typically not.
What does it cost?
It's quite expensive. It adds about $5,000 to the in vitro fertilization process. Well, insurance usually does not cover this procedure, except in cases of known genetic problems where the selection of, for example, a male embryo or a female embryo may avoid the genetic problem in the child.
Can you give us an example?
Yes, muscular dystrophy, for example, is an X-linked disorder. So choosing female embryos can help avoid having an affected child.
Okay. So, doctor, thank you so much for telling us more about how we can have gender selection when it comes to choosing our baby.
Sure.
And if you'd like more information about how to boost your fertility, you can click on any of the links here to my left, or you can subscribe to Mahalo Parenting. I'm Stephanie Stanton. Thanks so much for watching.